like Gene mentioned, there is risk in everything, in all industries, and in everything we do on a daily basis. I didn't mean to imply that we're not going to get it right. I meant to suggest that inevitably, as we've seen, there are occasions where things don't go as planned. And so the important thing is to learn from the information you collect in those situations. I've been, I guess, throughout my career, I've been in situations where I've had to rely on assembling data, interpreting it, and trying to figure out what the solution is to a problem. And so I'm again faced with that potential in my current career here at DEP. I'm charged with recognizing what is the most essential information to collect, seeing if there are problems, and trying to come up with a solution. I mean, that's really what everyone does in their careers, is just try to focus in on what's most important and try to optimize, the situations they have to handle. So I guess what I can say is that what I have seen, and again, this is 90% of my job, is looking at stray gas cases and well integrity. What I know, I guess, is that just because a well is leaking does not mean it's leaking in the groundwater. It doesn't always translate to a 1-to-1 ratio. Well, I think it's better that the well is not impacting the water supply. I don't think it's necessarily good that you have methane getting into the atmosphere. That's why we do want high integrity cement jobs. But I know that in cases where wells are leaking, in cases that I've looked at, it's in fact a small percentage of them that result in impacts to groundwater. It still is not acceptable, it still needs to be improved, but I'm just relying on the data that I evaluate at my job on a daily basis to give you some insight of what the statistics are here.
Question here.
I just want to address one thing that Tony mentioned about the spatial risk. Because he talked about the fact that these units, when he showed the map up there, he showed these black boxes that showed the well pad. And you would get the impression that those well pads were a significant portion of that square mile, or 2 square miles, as he referred to. In fact, we're talking about 6 or 7 acres of disturbance. Let's call it 80 acres of disturbance with the access road and all that. That's initial disturbance, and at the end of the day, it's down to maybe an acre and a half, 2 acres, something like that. Out of 640 if it's a square mile, or 1,280 if it's 2 square miles. You cannot find another energy source that will deliver so much for so little in terms of disturbance. Thank you.